Hi guys, and welcome back to Learn Extra Live. It is grade 11 and we are having such fun. I did post a question onto the Facebook page saying, what do you guys think, books or tablets? And I do have Ntokazizi who says they should buy books because they don't get viruses. That's a pretty interesting way about it. Okay guys, chat to me on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Learn Extra. Also chat to me at Learn Extra on Twitter. Samantha says, truly loving the lesson and we're making learning fun, and that's exactly what we want to hear. And I think, Peter, it's time to continue the question. Take it away.
Right, and even before doing the maths, and just if you've just joined us, what we're actually trying to do is determine, is it better to keep the good old traditional textbook, or should we go the tablet route where you can download textbooks and put everything on this funny little computer thing? And who was it that said that about the virus?
Then we have, I think it was Ntokazizi.
Ntokazizi says, you know what, textbook's better, they don't get a virus. And you know what, for someone who's as old as me, the other thing is the textbook's easy to use. Hey? You just open the book, you turn the page, and you read. How fantastic is that? And these funny computer things have all kinds of funny gadgets. And besides the viruses, I mean, all kinds of weird things happen to those things as well. I tend to agree with it. But we're looking at it from a financial point of view. And from a financial point of view, with our example, is it better to get a tablet for every student, or is it better to use the good old textbooks? Okay. So, let's have a look. Now, in addition to notes and examinations, the school would put the textbooks on the tablet. Computers as well. One tablet computer will cost 1,800 Rand with a bulk rate discount. A textbook costs an average of 110 Rand per student. Assume that notes and text cost approximately 400 Rand per student per subject. Assume that each pupil takes 7 subjects. What would you recommend to the principal? Is the company's claim valid or not? Okay. Now, guys, we're going to do this from a financial perspective. And once we've come up with our answer, we're going to have a bit of a discussion about other things that we've got to take into account. So let's have a look at it. So, firstly, we're going to say this. Right. So we have the computer, or tablet. We should call it what it is. Hey, let's call it a tablet, because otherwise it gets confusing and people who know what we're talking about won't know what we're talking about. So we got the tablet. Now you see, that just confuses me, because then I want to go off to a pharmacy and ask for a tablet. It's just okay. And then we've got the good old traditional way of the books. Oops, it seems I'm writing here with my hands today instead of the pen. So let's just get rid of that. Okay, cool, let's go. Then we got the good old traditional way of writing, or using rather, books. Now, the tablet, we told, is going to cost 1,800 Rand. Let's just have a look at that. There it is, 1,800 Rand. But we've got another expense to those tablets. And the text here tells us, it says, assume that notes and tests cost approximately 400 Rand per student per subject. So it's not just 400 Rand, but it's 400 Rand for every subject the student takes. And you guys out there in grade 11 know that you're currently doing 7 subjects at school, aren't you? Okay? You've got to do mathematical literacy, you've got to do English, you've got to do another subject, I think it is, and then you've got to do life orientation, and then you choose 3 others. Okay? So there's 7 subjects. Now, each subject is going to cost you 400 Rand to put all the books and everything on that tablet. So let's have a look at it. So the tablet's going to cost us that, plus an additional 400 Rand for each of those subjects. So we've got a total now of 1,800 Rand plus, and we can do this on our calculator. I know you can do it in your head, but let's just get into the habit of using a calculator. Remember what I always tell you, and if grade 12s are watching, you listen carefully as well. During a final exam, or at the end of the year, end of grade 11 exam, guys, you're nervous, you're tense, you're anxious when you're writing that exam. And it's so easy to make careless mistakes. It really is, okay? Some of us will look at something and say, oh, that's easy. 3 squared is 6 instead of 3 squared is 9, right? easy to make careless mistakes. So you know what? Just use your calculator. I know when I do my model answers for the tests and the exams I set for my students, I still sit there with a calculator just to double check myself, because I also tend to make careless mistakes. All right. So does my wife. She married me. What a mistake. All right, so let's move on. So now we're going to say, right, 400 multiplied by 7 equals, and we get 2,800 Rand. So 2,800 Rand. So the total cost of buying the tablet, getting all the material off, where do they get this material? Off cyberspace or something, I don't know, but you just, it comes out of the sky and it lands into your computer, and each subject, or tablet, and each subject costs 400 Rand. So all your subjects are going to cost 2,800, plus the initial little tablet thingy that you're buying is another 1,800. Now, when we add all that up, we're going to say, right, 2,800 plus the 1,800 Rand equals 4,600 Rand. So we've got a total now of 4,600 Rand for getting all the stuff onto the computer or tablet and buying that little tablet. Now, how much would it cost per student if you just got the good old-fashioned textbook? Let's have a look. Well, first of all, we're told that on average, each textbook, and it says here, is 110 Rand per subject. So we've got 110 Rand that we're paying out, plus now, it's for 7 subjects, okay? So we're paying an additional, oops, let's just get rid of that again. Oh, no, it didn't get rid of that. Let's try it again. Okay, sorry. Times 7 equals, when we multiply it now, the books, the good old-fashioned way of doing books, is costing 770 Rand. But remember now, the tablets, the teacher can also type up exams and put notes on them, weird and wonderful things like that. Whereas, at the end of every year, how much are you now paying for photocopying notes and exams and everything else? Now, it cost approximately, how much did it cost? We worked it out. It was 385 Rand, wasn't it?
Let me have a look. 385, that is correct.
Okay. So we got to pay an extra 385 Rand for the photostating and for printing notes and for printing exams and for printing tests. Well, what's that going to give me? Well, we got 385 plus 770. 385 plus 770 Rand, and we get a total of 1,155 Rand. Okay. Now, folks, let's look at the differences. Go the tablet route, download your notes. It's going to cost you 4,600 Rand. Go the good old-fashioned way of getting a textbook for everyone, printing their notes, printing their exams, writing out everything. It's going to cost 1,155 Rand per student. Now, guys, that's a difference of, let's have a look at it. That minus 4,600 is a difference of 3,445 Rand. Okay? 3,445 Rand per pupil. Sure. Now, I know there's someone right here in the studio who's a very, very worried person, and that's Indiana.
Don't worry, I've got something to say.
Because I basically think there is no place for her, okay? We should replace her with a textbook. We should replace her with whatever. I think anything will be better. No, I'm joking. All right, Indiana, tell me why do you think we should rather go that route?
Peter is a bit upset. He thinks that the tablet's going to take his position. Peter, you, the teacher, are much better than any tablet could ever be. Ever.
Okay, she wants something here. We're not sure yet, but anyway, thank you.
No, but this is the truth. Okay, now this is what I have to say. I reckon that tablets are going to be cheaper and cheaper as technology develops.
Absolutely, okay? Mm-hmm. And guys, sorry, can I just interrupt
No, go.
you? Right. If we gave you this type of question in an exam, and we said, which do you think is the better? Because remember, you've got to go to the headmaster and you've got to present your case, okay? From a financial point of view, there's no doubt here, no doubt at all, that the textbook is a cheaper method for right now. Okay? There is no doubt whatsoever. So all you publishers out there, all you authors out there, you can sigh a sigh of relief and say, phew, thank goodness we still got a job. Okay? But Indiana has said something, and she said something important, that the cost of tablets are probably going to get cheaper and cheaper. Probably the cost of getting material will also get cheaper and cheaper if more and more people actually get that material.
Well, if you want, Peter, it's I did post a post on Facebook, and it's quite incredible. We got 35 comments, and it was basically kind of, what do you think about the argument, books or textbooks? Do you want to hear some of the...
Yeah, let's hear some of
Okay,
them, because this is kind of thing we got to bring out, okay, in our exams. Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
Okay, because guys, that's exactly what Maths Lit is about. It's about talking about the question, looking at different things, and making it real. Okay, so let's have a look. Betty says tablet is much better. Pammy says books and printouts are cheaper. Tablets are expensive, plus the internet connect. Ugh, not good on the pockets. Kamogelo says buy them a tablet. I am Simba says Phablet, iPad mini. Samantha says, I'm going for tablets here. And let me read this one from Putlako. She says, books are cost effective, but the tablet is more relevant and helpful. You can do anything. It's not always about the cost. Sometimes it's about what you can gain from using that particular thing. And then we've got another mind that said, tablets are much better. There are ebooks, and printing will waste. Some of us aren't that careful. We might lose the handouts. One more, because we've got a host of messages here. Tablets, this was from Nathan. Tablets cost of it should be incorporated into the school fees. So maybe this is a different way of looking at the funding. Can we maybe rent them out or pay once and then the learner keeps it? So maybe that's an interesting way of figuring out a payment structure. One more, and then I'm going to give it to Peter. Wanderson says, the weight that books carry, their effect on the environment, since trees are cut down to make paper, the space they take, they wear out and not attractive to the eye. So I'd go for a tablet. It's a gadget worth investing in. So there you go. It's a kind of
absolutely.
mix of a whole bunch of comments.
Another argument here is this, that when you buy a tablet, you don't have that expense of 1,800 Rand every year, because that tablet will see you through for 2 or 3 years or 4 or 5 years until technology changes again and the tablet goes out and we come in with a pull or something. I don't know what they'll call the next one. But what we're trying to say is if you can buy one now, it'll see you through at least for next year and the following year. So that 1,800 Rand the following year won't kick in. It's only going to cost you 2,800. And maybe it'll get even cheaper because... I think technology is getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. In fact, I just spoke to a dear old soul the other day, and she was saying that she bought her grandchildren, when they finished school and were about to go to university, she bought them each a computer. And a few years ago, she bought her first grandson a computer that cost in excess of 11,000 Rand. And just this year now, she bought her next grandson, who's just finished matric, his own computer, and apparently it's bigger, it's better, it's got more of a brain and all kinds of weird and wonderful things, and that only cost her 7,000 Rand. Okay?
She's a lekker granny.
So I think a fantastic
She's
granny,
lekker.
but I would warn the second grandson, hey, go to your granny, she owes you another 5,000 Rand or 4,000 Rand because your older brother got more money out of her. Okay, but anyway, so what we're trying to say is technology is getting cheaper, so who knows what it's going to cost in the future. However, I think the cost of printing, the cost of paper, is going to get higher and higher and higher. So there's going to come a stage when maybe the tablet is going to be the better option. And I think something that was mentioned there as well, which is vitally important, is the tablet is not just used for notes and things like that. I think you can also connect to the internet, you can download, you can use it as an encyclopedia. Absolutely wonderful thing. You know what? I hope these tablet companies are going to pay us money, because it looks like we're advertising for them. But we're not. We're not doing that. We're not allowed to do that. So we're not. But all we're saying is this, that from a mathematical literacy point of view, financially, if I went to a headmaster now and said, listen, have tablets, it's going to cost you an extra 3,445 Rand per student, but he's going to block off right there and say, you know what, forget it, can't do it, we just don't have the budget for it, sorry, not going to happen. Okay? But in the long term, with a lot of insight, maybe that could be the route to go. But unfortunately, I don't think our education department has that kind of funds available right now. Then the other thing, which is, it sounds basic, it sounds stupid, but it's actually a reality. We have so many schools out there that don't have running water and electricity. So if you don't have electricity, this kind of thing is absolutely useless to you.
However, I want to say something to the mindset is, guys, you know what you're holding in your phone? I mean, you're holding in your phone, you're holding in your hand is your phone. That device can also be used at the same. Googling on your phone, looking up notes, connecting to Facebook, connecting to Twitter. You now have the power in your hands to get all of that information, because everything is on the internet, and it makes learning so accessible, information so accessible. So tablets might be a little bit far off, but you've got your cell phone, and that works wonders too.
Absolutely. Okay. And I heard the other week, apparently, that you can actually watch us on your cell phone. How great is that? So if you're coming home and you haven't got home yet, I think there's a way to do it.
There is. If you do have a live stream, if you do have a smartphone, guys, you can watch on www.mindset.co.za/live stream. So there you go. If you've got a smartphone, you can watch live streaming.
Okay, but we're not allowed to say that. If you've got a particular kind of phone, you can watch it.
No, we can
All
say
right.
smartphone.
Oh, are we allowed?
No, we can say smartphone.
Okay,
We just
it's a
can't say
very
which
clever phone.
smartphone.
Right. Before I move on, I know we've got a few minutes before our next ad break, but you know what? I think this has been a wonderful discussion, and I think it's a lot for people to think about, okay? And maybe we should take a bit of an ad break.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and look at our next question.
Okay,
All right. Thanks to the viewers for posting your thoughts. I think it's absolutely vital. It's critical. And it's wonderful to know that you're engaging with us, but it's even better to know that you're actually giving this whole Mathslit a lot of thought. Okay? So although from a financial point of view, we've come up with a conclusion, you know what, there's more to it than just the finance. There's more to it than just saying on paper, this is what it is. So maybe we need to take the following into consideration. But what I do need to stress is this. In an exam, okay, this question would require you to state that from a financial point of view, the textbook is the better route to go. Okay? Because that's what they're asking in that question, and that's what you've got to conclude with. However, if I was doing this as a class exercise, my next question would be, in fact, it could even come up in exam, what other factors could you take into consideration? All right. Guys, it's great being chatting. We're going to take an ad break, and then we'll be back.
You see, Peter just loves chatting. He's like me. He talks so much he gets confused. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, get chatting on the Facebook page, and we'll see you now.